Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. Today we're diving into a massive, honestly, kind of head-scratching paradox in modern medicine. We're looking at a system that pulls off absolute miracles on a daily basis, right? But at the exact same time, it creates this intense financial labyrinth for the people who need those miracles the absolute most. We're talking about the explosion of private healthcare and that wild tension between its phenomenal growth and its often crushing costs.
So let's just jump right in by asking a stark, deeply personal question that sits right at the heart of today's healthcare crisis. What is the true cost of getting better? Imagine for a second that you or someone you love falls ill. Your immediate focus should be 100% on recovery, right? Well, for millions navigating today's medical landscape, that physical illness is instantly paired with a secondary, sometimes even more terrifying symptom: immense financial anxiety. Medical debt is literally cited as a leading cause of personal bankruptcy globally, hitting millions every single year. We've built a system that can cure you faster than ever before, sure, but what happens when that cure comes with a price tag that alters the entire course of your financial life?
Section 1. The Rise of Private Hospitals, the Healthcare Boom.
Now, this massive modernization, it obviously didn't happen overnight. If we look back at the 1990s, we see the initial deregulation of the health sector, basically kicking the doors wide open. Then, as we cross into the 2000s, corporate hospital chains start to pop up. Medicine really started to scale, operating with the efficiency and structure of large corporations. By the 2010s, boom, we hit the tech-driven specialty era. Suddenly we've got robotic surgeries, targeted gene therapies, and whole facilities dedicated to hyper-specific fields. Which brings us right to the 2020s, where we're seeing absolute dominance in urban centers. These gleaming multi-specialty super hospitals are now staples of city skylines, sometimes looking way more like a luxury resort than an actual clinic.
And what's super interesting here is the sheer dominance of these private facilities. They've captured a massive market share, leaving public facilities with a rapidly shrinking footprint. Today, the private sector provides the vast majority of our access to cutting-edge technology, top-tier experts, and really speedy care. I mean, if you need an MRI without sitting on a wait list for 6 months, or you need a world-renowned heart surgeon, the data shows you are overwhelmingly likely to be walking through the sliding doors of a private corporate hospital. They've basically positioned themselves as the ultimate go-to for high-quality, immediate care.
Section 2. The unaffordable price tag when healing hurts.
60%. That is the staggering rate of out-of-pocket healthcare spending by average citizens in many of these systems. Seriously, let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just a dry statistic. This represents real, hard-working families literally having their life savings wiped out or their entire retirement funds drained by just one unexpected medical emergency. Even with insurance, the gap between what's covered and what these private super hospitals actually bill is massive. It's leaving everyday people holding an impossibly heavy bag.
There is a quote from our source material that says, "In private healthcare's rise, price points are a big pain." And wow, that single sentence hits the nail right on the head. It perfectly captures the intense frustration patients feel when they finally open those medical bills. Yes, the rise gave us better outcomes, insane technology, and beautiful facilities. But the pain, that very real financial trauma following the physical healing, is undeniable. It's a beautifully succinct way of capturing the dual nature of modern medicine.
Section 3. Decoding the hospital bill. Where does the money actually go?
So, to really understand the mechanics behind these costs, we need to break down exactly what you're paying for when you walk in. It's not just one big, mysterious charge, right? You've got daily room charges, which can honestly rival high-end luxury hotel rates. Then you have doctor fees, paying for that highly specialized expertise. But the real hidden heavyweights? Diagnostics, meaning every single blood test, every scan, every hour hooked up to a monitor, and the pharmacy, where the markups on simple, everyday medications and consumables can be through the roof. Literally every single touchpoint in a private hospital is a separate billable event.
Looking at these underlying economic realities neutrally, it makes total sense why those categories add up so fast. Private hospitals operate on a business model that requires massive capital investment. I mean, they are building state-of-the-art infrastructure. They are constantly buying and upgrading to the absolute best medical tech available. They're strategically placing these huge buildings on premium urban real estate to reach their target demographic. And crucially, in a lot of systems, they're doing all of this without strict price caps. Funding that level of continuous, high-end modernization, it naturally leads to those massive bills we were just talking about. The math just demands it.
Section 4. The Healthcare Access Dilemma: Navigating Care versus Cost.
So this brings us to an intense, really undeniable contrast. On the one hand, we have incredible, high-quality tech and speed. If you're in critical condition, This system can literally pull you back from the brink, using techniques that sounded like pure science fiction just 10 years ago. But on the other hand, we have this massive financial burden shifted squarely onto the individual. It's like a high-wire act for the modern citizen, having to balance this desperate, non-negotiable need for life-saving care against a financial weight that could alter your family's trajectory for generations.
Which leaves us with one final incredibly vital question to ponder. As private healthcare continues to rise, modernize, and expand its footprint, who can actually afford to get better? The system is, without a doubt, a total marvel of human achievement and scientific progress. But if the price of admission blocks out the average person, we really have to ask ourselves what the future of health truly looks like. I hope this explainer helped untangle the incredibly complex web of modern healthcare economics for you. It's a tough topic for sure, but understanding the structure behind the bill is the very first step in navigating it. Keep asking questions, keep looking at the data, and thank you so much for learning with me today.